my dear friends. I am Gosia from Cosmic Agency. Today's video is a mini report from our Finnish conference that took place here back in September. We're going to take some break from the heavy subjects of what's going on in the world, and I will share with you what happened at the conference. Also to inform you that I have just been invited to the Mega UFO Conference in Las Vegas, the same conference that I attended 2 years ago, but unfortunately I'm not able to attend because of the world situation, because of course I'm not willing to participate in what's happening and take tests, etc. I was invited to provide them with the pre-recorded presentation that they might use for their conference. I might do that. I don't know yet. We'll see. Now, going back to this Finnish conference, it was a good conference. I had 3 presentations on Friday, on Saturday, 2 presentations on Saturday and on Sunday, and I'm going to show you excerpts from these presentations. In some parts of the video, Robert is speaking in Spanish, but don't freak out, the rest is in English. It's just that I took some files from his recordings. Robert's conference is not included here because there was no one to record it, so I don't have any recording of that presentation, and it was quite an interesting presentation. I wish I had it because Robert was speaking in Spanish, and then next to him I was translating into English, and then Matthias was translating into Finnish, so it was quite a process, 3 of us there at the table. It was very interesting. We were quite well received. Thank you very much for coming, and I'm glad I met some of the followers. Hello to everybody, by the way. And thank you very much, Heikki, the organizer, who actually picked us up, drove us back to the location. He also helped, and his friend Esa, with some of the translations because it was so much, there was so much to translate that Matthias was getting tired. And on the last day, his friend Esa, Heikki's friend Esa, was helping with the translations. So here in this video, what I'm going to show you is some behind the scenes, then some excerpts from the 3 presentations that I had. Then I will show you the interview, short 15-minute video with Heikki, with the organizer, and especially because he was able to see our interaction live with Athena Swaruu. Yes, because what happened during the Saturday evening panel was that we had the opportunity to have Athena Swaruu online, and she was answering all the people's questions live. So we had been receiving, we were receiving people's questions on a piece of paper, and then we were typing it in, and she was responding, and I was presenting the answers. And Heikki was helping with the translation, so he could see the screen, he could see the interaction. He was very excited, so he's sharing that in this little interview. And then at the end of this video, I'm actually going to show you the questions from the audience and the answers. There are about 15 questions that we were able to squeeze into this presentation. So they are there included at the end of the video. Thank you very much again, everybody, for watching. Thank you again, everybody, for participating in this conference, everybody we met. And thank you very much, Heikki, for inviting us. We had a good time, and we hope to be able to do something with you again. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
Kaikki on valmis.
Kaikki valmis.
Okei.
Joo.
Joo, sulla on kokonaan. Koska se akku kestää yksi.
Eli kun lähtee tekemään, mutta tää on vanha
Robert.
1900
Hello.
Hello.
So we're on the way.
alaspäin.
We were just picked up here by Heikki, who is the organizer of this seminar, and we'll be on our way. About 4 hours to get to the place.
Vamos a tomar algo aquí. Después de hacer unos cuantos kilómetros he visto una especie de caribú, como los que hay en Canadá. Ahí. Sale nuestra amiga Gosha. He visto un caribú. Es como un ciervo gigante. Pues vamos a tomar algo aquí.
No pude dormir nada.
Bueno, Gosha no ha podido dormir nada. Tiene un congreso, tiene una ponencia hoy a las 7, o sea... Gosha tiene frío, yo estoy...
Tengo mucho sueño.
Y Gosha tiene sueño. Pues nada, vamos aquí con el equipo. Mirad cómo nos han buscado con la elegance.
I'm here, I don't know if you can hear me, trying to sleep a little bit, taking a nap at the back of this motor van. There's a sleeping area here, but I can't sleep. The thing is that I didn't sleep anything last night, zero. Long story why, and that's because I work at night and sleep during the day. But we had to leave very early in the morning to take a train. And now we are driving to the location where the seminar will take place. And at 7 o'clock tonight, I have the first presentation. So I'm not sure how I'm going to be doing it, because that's going to be 24 hours without sleeping. I'm trying to take a nap now, but it's not working. I can't do it.
Pero no son cerezas. No sé si esto es... Mira qué bonito. No sé qué frutas son estas, Gosha.
No sé.
¿Quieres probarla? A ver qué pasa.
Robert, estoy cansada, no dormí. No me enseñes siempre.
Bueno, nuestra amiga Gosha pues tiene una conferencia ahora a las 7, está un poco agotada, no ha dormido nada. Ok, vamos a ver la sala donde vamos a hacer las ponencias. Quitos.
This one, let's go.
Vamos a ver la sala donde vamos a hacer la ponencia. No sé si... Terve. Qué grande que es esta sala. Qué grande que es esta sala. Qué grande que es esta sala.
Only problem is when I perform the magic show, we gotta
Mira chicos, qué grande que es esta sala.
Huippumielenkiintoinen esitelmä. Rossia tulee kertomaan teille Taigetan ja Pleiades yhteyksistä tai yhteydestä. So welcome, and of course Rossia will speak in English, so that's no problem. And Matthias will translate it to Finnish. So I think everybody will be happy. So let's give a big hand for both Rossia and Matthias.
Okay. Hello everybody. Moi.
Niin kaikille.
We are both a bit nervous, so be patient please.
Olemme molemmat hieman hermostuneita, joten olkaa kärsivällisiä, kiitos.
Because first of all, how many of you know our work? Please raise your hand.
Ensinnäkin, ketkä kaikki tietää Goshan työstä?
Okay. So it's like half.
Puolet.
Okay, interesting. All right. And how many of you speak English?
Kuinka moni puhuu englantia?
Okay.
So
those who know me, you know that my work is on YouTube. I make videos with this information.
Eli Goshan työ on YouTubessa, eli hän tekee YouTubin kautta niin videoita.
But I'm not really a conference person.
Eli hän ei ole niin kuin tämmöinen live tekijä, eli hän ei tee konferensseja usein.
So just be a little patient, because I'm a bit nervous, and Matthias, this is his first time translating, so that's that. I just need to stand up. I feel like I'm closer to you.
Joo, Gosha haluaa seistä, tuntuu, että hän on silloin lähempänä teitä.
Yeah, and also I'm very expressive, so I need to be moving myself.
Ja hän yleensä niin kuin, näyttää eleillä.
And tomorrow, so today's introduction, tomorrow I'll present the main spiritual concept of this whole experience. And then on Sunday, it will be technological and scientific facts that they shared with us. So tomorrow, spiritual concepts, and Sunday, technological. Because one of their messages, important ones, is that people need to empower themselves to decide themselves what to think and what to do, not to follow anyone. Why are they here?
Okei, eli miksi he ovat täällä?
And not only them, but why are other races around the earth?
Eikä ainoastaan taikeettalaiset, mutta myöskin muut maan ulkopuoliset rodut, miksi he ovat täällä.
And not only around earth, they are also on earth, blending with people.
Eikä ainoastaan maan niin kuin tässä lähettyvillä ulkopuolella, vaan myöskin täällä ihan fyysisesti niin kuin kävelemässä meidän keskuudessamme.
There might be even some here.
Jopa tässä huoneessa voi olla joitakin.
They told us that they attend Ufo conferences.
He kertovat, että he osallistuvat näihin UFO-konferensseihin säännöllisesti.
So have your eyes open.
Joten pitäkää silmänne auki.
However, they know how to blend in very well.
Mutta muistakaa, että he ovat eksperttejä niin kuin tämmöisessä suluttautumisessa.
But they are definitely here, and they do walk among us.
Mutta nämä ET:t ovat siis realiteettia, he ovat läsnä.
Remember, they are people, so many of them will not be even distinguishable from us. And more about the Federation will be from Robert tomorrow.
Robert kertoo huomenna lisää federaatiosta.
However, I have to give you a warning here. There is apparently there's no translator for Robert, so I have to translate it into English, and then Matthias will do it. Question and answers very, very fast. Yes.
Yeah, I've always wondered, the cooperation between the Taigetans and the so-called cabal.
Yhteistyö taikettalaisten ja niin sanotusti kabalin välillä.
Which is, the most richest family in the world, like.
Ja kabaliin kuuluu niin kuin nämä pankkirisuut, rikkaat suvut.
Yeah, like the Rothschild, the Ford family. And all these families. What is the cooperation between them?
Mikä yhteistyö tavallaan taikettalaisilla ja tällä kabalilla on?
Or is it so that they are all only in cooperation with the lizards, which is bad?
No, the Taigetans don't cooperate with the cabal. They are against the cabal, and they are trying to warn us about the cabal. And that's actually a huge topic in itself, because the Taigetans are actually kind of a rebel race, and they basically tell us they spill the secrets, delicate information about how the Federation actually is involved with the politics on Earth and the situation on Earth. They don't view them as such a positive organization either.
But there's no aliens in the background.
I don't know
Like
exactly the
lizards,
details.
if you think about the lizards,
That's possible, yes.
they are in cooperation with the cabal.
Well, of course, in that sense, yes.
Cabal rules the world. So,
Yeah. I thought for the first day it's going to be less. And it's
Well, this is Saturday, the second day of this seminar. I'm extremely tired because it's the second night that I couldn't sleep almost at all. So I'm drained. It's a horrible feeling when you are very tired but you can't sleep because your mind can't shut off. That's what happened. I was tossing in bed for 4 hours, seriously. So I had to come out and explore a little bit this area. It's 8:30 in the morning. Yesterday I had my first talk, which went very well. Matthias translated very well too. It was his first time translating, so he was a bit worried. I was anxious too about myself, nervous, but it was okay. There were about 80 people there, maybe less. I'm not sure. I think today there will be more. And we met some followers, some people that have followed us for a long time, some new people. There was a man that came from Berlin, a Chinese boy, and let's see what happens today. Today I have a talk, and then Robert has a talk, which I have to translate from Spanish to English, and then Matthias will be translating from English to Finnish. So it's going to be quite a process. And then there's going to be a panel in the evening, and I think I'm going to have Athena Swaruu on the line with us to answer some questions live. So, but that's a surprise for the people. There are like these frisbee courses here. It's a frisbee course. Here I noticed that Finnish people are very much into frisbees, and they take it quite seriously. And there are courses for that, where you go and you throw it around. So this is like a resort area. There are saunas, little restaurants here outside, even though the summer is finishing here already. Look at these boys playing frisbee early in the morning.
Yleisluontoinen otsikko. Niin, että tervetuloa ja aplodit Kosjalle ja Mattiakselle.
Okay. So let's continue. Now, the main spiritual ideas that they shared with us.
Eli päätämmöiset henkisyyteen liittyvät asiat, jotka he jakoivat meidän kanssamme, ovat
There are just so many, and it's always so difficult for me to put this in one short presentation or interview.
aiheita on hurumykkää hyvin paljon ja hyvin vaikeita laittaa ne tavallaan nyt niin kuin tässä esille.
Okay, but what they want people to know first, very simple, that they are here.
Mutta ensinnäkin mitä he haluavat ihmisten tietävän on se, että he ovat täällä.
And they have always been here, maybe not this specific crew, but as races, they have always been here. And here in the so-called 3D experience, our life is very one level.
Ja tässä meidän niin kutsutussa 3D-elämänkokemuksessa niin kaikki on tavallaan yhdellä tasolla.
But they live in a much more multi-level type of existence.
Mutta taikeettalaiset taas eivät elä yhdellä tasolla, vaan tavallaan siinä on niin kuin monia eri tasoja yläpuolella.
Understanding that what we think we are,
jotta ymmärtäisimme, että mitä me olemme.
It's not all we are.
Se tavallaan ei ole sitä.
And we can be also another person. And they understand that the higher you go in densities,
ja mitä tavallaan korkeammalle näistä tasoista mennään, eli puhutaan densiteeteistä,
then you realize that all of us actually are same person. So it's very important to them that people do not perceive them this way.
Ja taikeettalaiset eivät halua tätä leimaa itselleen, eivätkä halua, että ihmiset tavallaan kohtelee heitä jumalina. He ovat ihmisiä siinä, missä mekin.
What they want you to know that you are gods.
He haluavat teidän ymmärtämään, että te olette lähteistä ja te olette niin kuin lähteen fragmentteja, niin te olette jumalia.
That you are not less than them.
Että te olette tavallaan millä tavalla heidän alapuolella.
We were just made to believe that. And when you do that, you can actually find yourself with another version of yourself.
Ja tavallaan jos aika matkustaa tavallaan eri aikajanoihin, niin tavallaan voi törmätä niin kuin omaan versioon itsestäsi.
And those of you who have followed the Swaruu story, you will know what I'm talking about.
No ne, jotka ovat tavallaan tutustuneet ja tietää Swaruun ja että Swaruu on aikamatkustaja, niin tietää mistä puhutaan.
So it can be very tiring for the mind to live in that kind of complicated reality.
Die and crash to the ground, but move yourself from place to the another, and this, what Taigetan tell, it sounds very much about same kind, but without the numbers.
Yes.
And that's why I asked where did they find them, how did they get the numbers? Because
I know some just few words, but I love Finnish language.
Joo, no tyyppi tykkää suomen kielestä.
Yeah, so I love to listen. I love to listen very much. I have to tell you that it's my favorite language in the world.
Hän tykkää, joo, paitsi tykkää suomen kielestä, niin on myöskin niin hänen mielestään paras kieli maailmassa ja hän tykkää kuunnella suomea.
And that's why I came 1 year ago to Finland with Robert. We were just traveling for 1 month because I was so fascinated by Finland. Always voluntary.
Aina vapaaehtoisesti.
The person who is coming in, getting immersed, never imposes themselves on that person's soul. No, they have 10 fingers, 10 toes, just the same.
Niillä on samaten 10 sormen 10.
Mutta se lukujen jaksollisuus, 10 jaksollisuus.
The frequency of the numbers, is there something that you explain?
No, I don't know much about that, and they haven't even explained in detail yet the 12 base mass.
Mä en ole kysynyt kovin paljon tästä 10 järjestelmästä, että hän ei osaa sitä nyt selvittää valitettavasti.
First human beings had 6 toes and 6.
Yeah, no, but they have 10, the same biology. Okay, another question.
yes, yesterday you told about the matrix in the moon. It was very good information, thank you. But I have heard like a couple of weeks ago that there is another, I think it was in Orion, matrix which is affecting the whole universe, all the races around it, or something around us.
Very simple answer, I don't know, because I have never heard anything about Orion matrix. It's possible, there's a lot happening in the universe. All I know is about moon matrix and the Saturn connection. That's why you still have to remain some of that enigmatic, distance to be believed that they're extraterrestrials.
Joo, niin kuitenkin niitä pitää säilyttää semmoinen tietty, jos on...
Hajurako!
Joo, tuo erittäin hyvä. Kiitoksia.
So as you see, a lot goes into this from their side, how to approach us, how much to give about themselves. Gravity is not the result of mass and matter. It's the opposite. Gravity is what forms mass and matter, and it is directly proportional. So the fun story was that they don't have bicycles in their society. They don't have bicycles.
Tyypeillä ei ole polkupyöriä siinä omassa sivilisaatiossa.
But me, Matthias and Robert, we bought bicycles for ourselves.
Mutta tosiaan tämä porukka on hommannut polkupyörät.
When we got here to Finland.
Kun tulivat Suomeen.
And we started biking everywhere.
Ja alkoivat polkupyöräilemään.
And sharing photos and videos.
Ja ottaa kuvia ja videoita.
With them also.
Vaihtaa niiden kanssa, okei.
And it was contagious.
Ja se oli aika tarttuva juttu.
And they started replicating bicycles on board.
Ja nyt niillä on polkupyöriä siellä aluksessa.
And they started bicycling. They have a huge ship. They had a huge ship, and in a hangar they made a race course.
Joo, ja tosiaan, koska niillä on kauhean isoja aluksia, niin sinne on tosiaan tehty se tämmöinen kilparata.
And they started biking around everywhere, even causing accidents among themselves.
Ja tosiaan saattavat törmätäkin näitä.
And you have to be careful because they have a lot of cats on board.
Ja koska siinä on kissojakin, niin sitten saattaa tulla ongelmia.
Cats and other animals that we don't have on Earth here, small ones.
Siellä on myöskin muita pikkuotuksia, joita ei ole maapallolla.
So some of them, for example, Dorkalel, the pilot, he replicated six bikes for himself. He has 6 bicycles.
Joo, 6 polkupyörää kuulemma on joku replikoinut itsellensä. Mä ensin kuulin six-pack ja ajattelin, että nehän ostaa bodybuildingia siellä.
I mean, they are obsessed, tell me. But they never wanted me to talk about this.
Mä ei ole kyllä puhunut siitä, että tästä pitäisi niinku puhua.
Because they didn't want to sound so strange and so human. Like they thought maybe this is incredible. They're always very careful, like how they are perceived.
They're trying to give some dignity or some kind of coolness of themselves, that they are higher or...
No, not that they're higher, but like they were just, sometimes it's hard for them how much to reveal of their personal life.
Ja tosiaan tässä on takana se, että ne ei ole ihan varmoja siitä.
And the web and the YouTube channel is called, and then the sector actually, Cosmic Agency.
Cosmic Agency on se hakusana, ja tosiaan löytyy tämä paikka netistä Googlella.
So the YouTube channel, yes, Cosmic Agency, yes, thanks. And I want to say thank you very much. I give this volume to everybody, okay? And know that you are not alone, and there's so much more in the universe, and you're never alone.
Yes. Näin ja tuolta saattaa olla vielä arkoja, jos ei sitä osaa. Tällaisia me pyrimme järjestämään. Oikein mukavaa kotimaista.
Like this? Oh yes. It's okay. Thank you. It was amazing. Thank you. Yes.
Well, hello everybody, and here I'm very happy to present to you Heikki. Do I pronounce your name correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, very nice name, by the way. Well, hello Heikki.
Hello, Kasia. Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you again. Heikki was actually kind enough to invite us to his UFO conference here in Finland, and we attended that conference with Robert and Matthias 3 days ago, and we had a very good time. It was quite amazing, and the reception was very good as well. But I was especially impressed, I have to say, by you and your hospitality and your warmth and your personality. And I just want to ask you first, maybe, why did you invite us, and how did you find out about this information?
Yeah, it was a pleasure to have you, Kasia and Matthias and Robert. Well, let's start from the beginning. I think it was February last year, 2020, and I saw the first Swaruu video, and I was really, really impressed. Actually, how it happened, the algorithm of the YouTube suggested that, okay, go ahead and watch this one. And I did, and it surprised me immediately. I realized that this is something very different. Of course, I watched many channelings and other similar videos, but this was really, from the very beginning, something that I thought that this is not possible because the information was so important and so vast and so different than earlier. So I became a fan of yours and Swaruu immediately. I reported about this video immediately to my friend in the Finnish UFO research team and sent him the link and then go ahead and watch this. He's my right hand in the organization, and next morning he sent me a mail about this is unbelievable and we gotta get that somehow to you and ask you to the convention. So how it started, actually, of course, I did not know that you're in Finland.
in the beginning. I thought that you're in Barcelona, and of course that's a big problem that gets you from Barcelona to Finland. So one morning I watched again your video, and I saw that, okay, this scenery looks too familiar. You're not in Barcelona anymore. You're probably somewhere in Scandinavia. And it didn't take long until I found that you are in Finland, actually. Then I sent another email to my friend that, can you check out Kosia's email address? They are in Finland, Robert and Estella and you somewhere. So we gotta find you. And if you I realized that you're longer than just on a vacation here. So it immediately decided that we got to get you to the convention, which was coming up in September. And very quickly, my friend found your email address, and we started to talk about the convention and so forth. So that was the beginning. That's how it started.
Yeah, I remember you emailed me. I remember I refused to give you my phone number. I remember that. I said, it's better communicate by email or something. It's because, I don't know, I just try to be like very private with that. And we didn't know each other yet, and I didn't know what this was about.
Understandable.
So tell me, who are you in this organization? Just say a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm a chairman currently. I've actually been chairman of the Finnish UFO research for about 5 years now, but I'm involved with the organization for a very long time. I actually started in 1974. I have a certificate for UFO researcher, certificate number 20. So it was in the very beginning, and I've been for a long time with the Finnish UFO research, more or less, more active than past few years, very active. And when I've been chairman, I've been really active all the time. So it occupies my time very, very much, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it very, very much.
Yes, it's a very enjoyable field. But tell me, so then, how do you think was the reception of our information at your convention? Because you know your public, you know what they are interested in. How do you think it was received?
Yeah, it was. They received you really well. I knew it beforehand that they will be interested to see you, and they were really excited to see you, especially what happened in the Saturday evening, which was it was really exciting. Something we couldn't figure out or understand or even think about earlier.
Yeah.
So audience liked you, your presentation. Actually, you played a major part in the convention because Estella was not able to come. She was unable to come, and you have to do 3 lectures. That was really kind of you that you were able to participate that much, and so. The audience reactions were great. They loved you, absolutely. We're very, very happy to get you there, and I hope this is not the last time. We're planning new event for 2023 when we have 50-year celebration in the organization. So that's only about 1.5 years from now, and maybe sooner. Who knows? But anyway, we're planning big things coming up that time.
And the conference that Robert did was also quite interesting because we had to do like a 3-way translation. So Robert was speaking in Spanish, I was translating into English, and Matthias was translating into Finnish. And I was worried that this is going to be too much and this is going to be too draining and boring for people. But everybody was listening and no one was leaving the room bored, so that was surprising too.
Yeah,
it went well.
Yeah, I thought that it will expand somehow. Robert's lecture, it will last at least 2 hours or more, but it went very smoothly and it worked really well. It was really well, and Robert's lecture was also absolutely great. So everybody loved it, but it worked really well. And of course, translation first to to English, and then Finnish was a little bit problematic, but it worked so well. So it went really.
It was also a bit controversial, right? There were some people like speaking out in the audience, with some comments, like kind of, interrupting our flow, which was surprising because normally Finnish audience, from what I heard, doesn't do that. So why do you think that happened?
Well, they didn't understand where they are. They thought that they are in some sort of meeting, like an annual meeting where you can talk almost anything. And there's so-called experts always in the audience. And there was 2, 3, maybe 4 so-called expert UFO researchers. And of course, they wanted to say their opinion and show off how well they know this area. So, but it was stupid. Next time we will take a little bit attention to this matter. They can't interrupt you because it makes a little bit. Although they were quite friendly, but anyway, if they interrupt someone, it's not good.
Yeah, and also some of the subjects were quite controversial because Robert was talking about Vatican and the Pope, and so that stirred some emotions there in the room. But now I just want to ask you about actually something exciting that happened during this conference, and you mentioned it Saturday evening. Something happened, and this was a surprise to us as well because we didn't know if it was going to happen. But I asked Aneka to be present live during our talk and respond to people's questions live. People were giving questions on the pieces of paper, notes, and we were passing those questions to Aneka, and she was responding, which, by the way, after this interview, I'm going to include those questions and her answers. So you'll see what people asked. Keep in mind that there were, quick questions, and they had to be quick answers.
Yes.
There was not much time to be giving thorough answers. But it was exciting, and it was for the first time in the world that this happened, this live communication and contact with the orbit, with the ship. And also you had the opportunity to see this interaction because you had to help Matthias with the translation, which he was very tired at that point. So you could see her type. Can you say something about that?
Okay, yes. Okay, let's start from the beginning. It was Friday evening after the dinner. You mentioned that we might have in the panel discussion tomorrow, it was Saturday evening, Aneka was the person who we were about to contact. That she's willing to come to the panel discussion. And I thought, this can't be possible. Is it really so? And he said that, okay, we'll find out during the night to get the answer. Is it okay or not? And in the morning, I saw you and said, okay, we have a panel discussion, and they will be 7:30 in the panel discussion, and we have live chat with them in the evening. So that was really, really exciting. And so the audience was, I think there was a full room in the evening. There was lots of spectators to see this event. And we asked that make the short questions because we had only 1.5 hour time. So we couldn't take very long questions, and we had to translate immediately, almost totally impromptu, without any preparation.
Yeah.
So that was a challenge. Matthias was translating first, and then you asked me to come to help. And then I came behind the screen, and I was standing behind you and Matthias, and I had a little bit of problems to see the laptop screen from the little bit awkward position, and it was really hard to read relatively small fonts. And I tried to translate. We had no time for the preparation. Everything had to happen immediately. So that was a challenge, but it was really exciting, and we answered 1.5 hour to audience questions, and and it was really unbelievable. It was really, really unbelievable.
So you could definitely see that it's not us. It's not us giving this material. So even if there are skeptics still out there who is behind the screen, you can definitely be a witness here that it's not coming from us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I saw how it happened. You typed the question in English, and the answer appeared on the screen almost immediately, and there it was. No one had time to make any preparation to answer. No one knew the questions. It was totally impromptu session. So I saw it. There was nothing fake or anything in it. So it happened in front of the audience. They were not able to see the screen, but Viley, our television TV team, was there recording the entire session and everything. We are making the document, 5-part document about UFO research, which will be ready next winter. But probably it will be aired in Finland by the largest TV company in Finland, YLE, the Finnish Broadcasting Company. And this will be a part of the document as well.
Yeah,
and interviews and other stuff.
I was going to say that this interaction with Aneka live was filmed by that Finnish company, TV company, and it is going to be released as part of that documentary sometime next year. So anyway, you can be proud that the first live interaction with the extraterrestrial person in the orbit happened during your conference.
Yes.
And I think you deserve it. You are a great person. You have been working so hard, and you're so passionate about this subject. I'm really happy that it happened at your conference.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we have hard time to figure out something better for next time. we have 1.5 year time to think about it. But maybe we ask someone from Swaruu team to be with us.
Imagine.
So
imagine. Well, let's see what happens in the world. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for agreeing to this interview and for sharing your experience.
My pleasure.
And thank you for being so open-minded and so welcoming to us. And I'm sure we're going to see each other again sometime.
Absolutely. Thank you, Garcia.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Luonnonvarat ja sitten se, että ei saa kontrollia, kaupallisen kontrollista.
Next question. Is unconditional love still a principle, good virtue, or yesterday's naive New Age distraction? It is an essential concept. That is very true. Good virtue to follow, not only New Age distraction. Yet, must not be confused with being permissive when others are going over your rights. Love yourself first, as when you do not, you cannot love others. What kind of vibration beings are among us? Do they have physical body and world? Okay, the answer. All kinds of beings are among you.
Kaiken näköisiä ihmisiä olentoja on teidän joukossanne.
From all places.
Kaikista paikoista.
That you call densities.
Jota kutsutaan densiteiksi eli
and from all vibrations.
All kinds of beings are among you and are you. From all places you call densities and from all vibrations, from low to ultra high. They do have a physical body. Most work through a human vessel. Some know, some do not know. Others keep their astral form, for a lack of a better name for them. They interfere, whispering in people's ears, giving inspiration as in spiritu, or whispering of a spirit. They are everywhere, and people resonate with them by their own frequency of thought. They become compatible to one or another form of higher beings. How strong is the cabal in Finland? Hard to tell. It is said that Finland is under the control of the so-called white hats. I strongly feel, although practically all the world is under cabal control, Finland is more relaxed than most other countries. So with circumstantial evidence, I would say a cautious 20% as compared to other places like Spain or Argentina, where it would be 100% for reference. Knowing that control agendas are lesser in Finland because the cabal does not see any use or real problem for them coming out of Finland. If they did, they would have stricter policies there against the people. How the universal laws should be integrated to planet Earth to help humanity. Universal laws cannot be installed by force. They must come out of the people of Earth themselves, as the media from which those universal laws emanate from. Such as how that happens as well with a holographic society. Universal laws will come in and be established by the people in an almost automatic manner as they grow in consciousness awareness and in self-responsibility. It will come automatically. The people of Earth should work on 3 main things for all: spirituality with no religion, ethical standards fair for all, moral standards fair for all as one. How is Mother Earth affecting the humanity? Mother Earth, as a conscious sentient being, is formed in a large way by the human conflictive unconscious, as well as other consciousness collectives, such as other live kingdoms, such as plants and animals, as well as the complex interactions between other sentient stellar objects, such as other planets and stars. Earth's consciousness and humans affect one another directly, cause and effect as one. Where did the aliens from Roswell 1947 come from? Zeta Grace, friendly. How does our collective ascension affect your race and your reality of existence there? All collectives and all races are connected in consciousness. Many of our people of our race are playing to be humans right now. Whatever happens on Earth is experience for us as well, as individuals and as a culture. We are kin. What affects you affects us as well. What's the purpose of controlling the growth of the population? With too many people, the cabal cannot have full control over the population. And they also see the general population as too many for the planet, although this is highly questionable. It is all basically for total control over the human population. Is unconditional love still a principle, good virtue, or yesterday's naive New Age distraction? It is an essential concept that is very true, good virtue to follow, not only New Age distraction. Yet, must not be confused with being permissive when others are going over your rights. Love yourself first, as when you do not, you cannot love others. Are we able to see and observe other space as it truly is? I was told back in the 90s that, for example, Pleiades system, we cannot see its true form. That is true. You could see it elevating your frequency or in astral travel. From Earth and from within its average realm frequency called 3D, you can only see 60% of how things are in space in reality. How is it possible that all the world's health officials are fooled and lying? Because the ones that were willing to cooperate with the agenda were placed in high places right before it all started. They placed their chess pieces in strategic places before it started. Another point is that the whole medical establishment, what is accepted as true and as false, possible and not possible, was tailored from decades before, so the medical professionals would have to conform to their institutional mandates. Not all medical professionals are complying, but they are suppressed with mass media and professional shaming. This is why, in short. Does a duplicate of the I, me, exist somewhere? From one point of view, one duplicate of you exists per each timeline, parallel universe. From an even higher perspective, there is only one of you that is multidimensionally existing in multiple timelines and alternative universes, scalar. And from even higher above, the illusion of separation stops, and we all become aware that we are all one, that we are Source itself. How do you trade with other races? What does it look like? Trade is in kind, but it's not trade like on Earth. At a high level of technology and of advancement in general, trade is only in the form of sharing ideas and new tech that come out of ideas. Things such as ore or anything that is considered of value from a human point of view is not seen as such, only as more things. What has more value and is not replaceable are things like art, where an original is an original, and there is no replication or copy of it. So the concept of trade, as it's understood on Earth, does not exist, because there is no real lack mentality as such here, not like it is on Earth. At this level of technology and of cooperation with other cultures, we all have what we need, and so much of it we simply share with others all the time, just because that is the correct thing to do, and not expecting anything in return for it. Same way that other culture or cultures will do the same with us and with others. So, trade, as it is understood on Earth, does not exist, or in a very limited manner. Can and do Taigetans stop meteorites, etc.? Devastating events like that? Yes, we do, and other races as well, all the time. But those are not so common events. Not as common as you are led to think on Earth. More fear propaganda. Asteroids and meteorites are not really a problem for Earthlings. What do you eat? We eat a large variety of plant-based foods, elaborated, cooked, baked or raw as well, fruits and vegetables. Our flour is sea algae based, not wheat based. We do not consume wheat, as we find it to be toxic for brain and body. We have at least 10 times more variety of edible plants, vegetables, and fruits than what you have on Earth. Other species living close to us do eat meat and animal products, as it is a physical necessity for them, but they are artificially grown and not from a living animal. For humans on Earth, we do discourage eating artificial meat or artificial anything at all. Can you explain the exact process of how you connect to our internet now? We have an electrical converter to pass our electric grid nomenclature to a human one, to feed replicated or original examples of your digital computers. Long-range internet access, like from Andromedan Viera, then the internet signal is passed by wire to a special router we made that translates it to muon communication method. Then it goes to a special human-made satellite that translates muon back to digital, and from there into a Federation-controlled server on the surface of the planet, under the control of certain governments that are complicit with the Federation, and from there into the regular internet. Short-range internet, from a starship like above, signal is passed directly to a human-made satellite, and then to Federation servers on the surface, and then into the regular internet.
Thank you for the connection. We are very grateful for that.
Mm.
And we hope to hear more. And we thank you.
I think everybody was very, very pleased for this convention.
Yeah, I felt that today.
Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt about that.